social patterns for living must conform with the approved and sanctioned ways for dealing with various universal circumstances, such as the existence of sexes, the helplessness of babies, the need for satisfaction of the elementary biological requirements such as food, warmth, sex, the presence of individuals of different ages and different physical and other capacities. The American anthropologist Edward Hall divided cultures according to their ways of communication into high context and low context cultures, with the high context in which much of the information transmitted between the members in the communication process is implicit, and in a low context culture in which nearly all parts of communications are expressed in a more explicit and direct way. The American sociologist Parsons and Shields suggested that all human actions are determined by 5 variables which exist as pairs of alternatives: gratification of human needs versus restriction of our impulses, self-orientation versus collective orientation, universalism versus particularism, meaning applying general standards in our lives versus taking particular relationships into account, ascription, or the so-called judging others by who they are, versus achievement, judging people by what they do. Next is specificity, which is related to limiting relations to others to specific spheres, versus diffuseness, which is associated with no limitations to nature of relations. Parsons and Shields claimed that those choices are present at our personality, at the social system when discussing the group or organizational decisions, and at the cultural, so-called normative level. Kluckhohn and Strotbeck classified societies according to their value orientation towards evaluation of human nature and its understanding as evil or good. The relationship of man to the surrounding environment, talking about harmony and control of the natural environment. Then there comes the orientation in time, our attitudes toward the past, the present, and the future. Then we can speak about orientation towards activity, being or doing as another aspect. Relationships among people are also characteristic when dimensionalizing cultures. Thinking about hierarchically ordered social structures or linear social structures. From their survey of literature, Ingles and Levinson elicited three standard issues that meet criteria of dimensionalizing. Relation to authority, the concept of self, and the primary dilemma or conflicts associated with the ways of dealing with them. In this line, Hofstede identified several specific problems related to the value orientation towards dependence to superiors, the needs, social needs for rules and predictability of behavior. Also the balance between the individual goals and dependence on the group or the company in the business context. Then the balance between the ego values, thinking about the need for money or personal performance or career performance, and of course social values like cooperation within the group and favorable living environments.